Good evening and welcome to this week's edition of the Crossroads here on Veterans Anonymous. I am your host, Combat Cricket Jade Lopez from Colorado, former 31 Bravo military police, and your best friend. My usual buddy that calls me out is not with us tonight. Uncle Si is not feeling so good, so he's just taking the night off. Joining with me tonight, Miss Cuddling Kittens.
Hi, I'm Jenny. I am a stay-at-home mom, online college student. I'm an Air Force veteran of a little over 6 years, and I make silly TikToks.
Joining us once again, thankfully, we have Ducky stepping in.
G'day, I'm the token Aussie of this group. Royal Australian Navy, 13-year, medically discharged almost 4 years ago now from the Defence Force, and loving life as much as possible, but having an absolute pleasure being able to see you guys once again.
Yes, he's speaking to us from the future.
Yes, okay, and I also read things upside down.
Oh, goodness. Naughty.
Hello, everyone.
So Jennifer Sandiford is who I'm going to visit. And I thought it was tomorrow because I thought today was Thursday. But
it is Friday. Thursday.
Exactly, Ducky. It is Thursday. I thought I was in Australia going to Nashville on Friday. But alas, it is Wednesday in the States, and I'm still leaving Friday morning.
I was going to ask you what time is your flight if it was early.
I got to be at the airport at like 5 a.m. Because it says like 2 hours early because of the amount of people. And so I was like, oh, joy. I'm not going to be.
Usually they tell you 2 hours here at DIA just because it's always busy.
Yeah. Same here in Adelaide. Here at Adelaide Airport, it was always be 2 hours ahead of schedule, even though we've got domestic and international at the same time. It was always arrive 2 hours beforehand. When I was driving as a chauffeur, I was actually dropping the flight crew off about half an hour before the flight would actually take off. So, and you think of that.
And I'm over here to 2 hours early twiddling my thumbs.
Yeah. That's the reason why you take a entertainment system like a Switch, or in Cuddling Kitten's case, we get her to do some crocheting in the airport.
Yes. Yeah, I'm hoping to get some more work on that sweater done.
Oh, so she's gonna end up looking like the guy from the Olympics doing the crochet, the knitting of his jumper.
He finished it.
He finished it. It was actually really cool to see. How to cause mischief.
I saw that he made a pouch for his medal.
Yeah, he made a pouch and a full-on jumper as well, or a sweater.
I was gonna say, I think he called it something different than we call it as well. Is it a jumper there?
A jumper here in Australia, a sweater for you guys, a pullover, a cardigan. There's that many different names for the same thing. So I'm pretty sure he actually called it a cardigan.
Do you call them hoodies?
Well,
a hoodie? Do you
we've got hoodies. Okay, now you're going into clothing, apparel. We've got.
Well, we wanted to bring up this with Ask an Aussie.
Yep. Okay, so we've got vests which are button up in the middle, and then sleeveless, which are a vest.
Mm-hmm.
Then you've got the singlet, which is the wife beater.
A singlet?
A tank top.
Yeah, tank top.
Or ribbed tee,
Yep.
or not tee, but ribbed tank top.
Yes. Then we've got the sleeveless T-shirts, which are basically, from there is just basically an extended T-shirt without the sleeves. Then you've got your, then you go into your long sleeve T-shirts, which are your long sleeves. And then you go into your jumpers, sweaters, pullovers, hoodies, and then you go into your bomber jackets, which are the fake leather sleeves, and a top.
Oh, okay. Because like those are flight or bomber jackets here, but a like heavy coat, winter coat.
Yeah. And then you've got your full-length trench coat.
Yes, those aren't very.
Those aren't. I'm always wary of people that wear those because I'm afraid they're gonna sit there and go whoop.
It's more of a safety thing. They're not allowed in schools here.
TikTok going around of a guy doing that, but he's actually fully clothed underneath. You can't see any of this clothing beforehand. He goes into a child's play area and does the whole flash, but on the T-shirt it says, "Stay in school, kids. Your father or mother is about to kill me." And you see the mother come over and crash tackle him.
I was gonna say I'd probably tackle him too.
Yeah.
Some like a flying squirrel.
Yes, they're called varsity jackets as well.
I just drew a blank, and I was doing so good. I was messing up before it went live, and then as soon as it went live, I was doing good, and now I'm just.
My
So you
brain
leave
is
on
too.
Friday.
People that are in,
Yes.
ask an Aussie stupid questions.
Yes, that works too.
So I know that we've got Michael, and I can see we've got Audie. Unfortunately, Audie's best friend is out at the moment.
I actually met Audie this last week.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
Did you get pictures?
He drove out from Arizona, and we drove out from Colorado and met Kyle down in New Mexico.
Cool.
Yes. Shoot. He sent me pictures on Facebook, and I completely spaced putting them on StreamYard before going live. Because,
I've got a little photo I can show you of the stupid petrol prices that we've got here in Adelaide right now. It's in cents per litre.
Do you want to? I can't see that.
$1.75 per litre.
Jeez.
That equates to about $6.60 a gallon.
I was just trying to do math. No, thank you. I was gonna say I honestly thought we could beat you, but
No, I thought Vegas prices were bad. We're at $3.99 a gallon. So like 1 cent shy of $4. Like,
when we were going down to New Mexico, we stopped at because it's random mountain towns the way that we took out there, and it hit over $4. I think it was like $4.10 in some of those places. God. And that was regular bullshit gas because I usually put premium in like my vehicles, but we took boys truck. So it was like, I'll pay for gas, but I ain't paying for premium when regular is over $4.
Yeah, and that's just the cheap shit. I haven't even looked at the premium. I'm afraid to look.
That's the cheap stuff as well.
Yeah, because the cheap stuff is what we use for the trucks.
So that was 91. So that was the 91 octane, and that's the lowest we have here in Australia. Then you go up to the 95 and 98, and the 98
Jesus.
was $1.92 per litre.
God, I wish we were paying those prices.
Mm.
God, that would be. I need those prices again.
I went to California last summer, I went from Colorado to Utah, Nevada, hit California, went all the way up the coast up into Oregon. And California had the most expensive gas, and I think it was still 3 something. Everywhere else was way under that.
Everyone from California is coming to Vegas and it's driving up everything. Housing market is insane.
When we legalized, 100,000 people moved here in a year.
Ugh, ewy.
Yes, I don't like people.
I'll
I'll help people, but I don't like them.
I want to live where the people
you talk to people on the internet from around the world.
Right?
See, and I like that, but I don't want my neighbors so close that I can hear what they're talking about over the dinner table. And that's kind of how it is in Vegas, is that I literally go, whoop, and I can see in my neighbor's yard. Then you slouch back down, and it's like I'm hidden, but not really.
Hang on. You are forgetting one thing. Your neighbors have caught you doing your TikToks and they're pissing themselves laughing.
Yeah.
Oh my God, kittens. I don't know if you've done it yet, but there's a sound where you're just like doing your thing and then it like all of a sudden screams like, oh, hello.
I've
got to find that sound. Yeah, I got to find that sound because I was like, oh, she has to do it when she gets caught by the neighbor.
Actually, there was something funny happened to a friend of ours over in Sydney. So at the moment, Sydney is in lockdown. They can't because of COVID. But a friend of my partner's is over there in his apartment, and he's got a video. It was on Instagram, and it was that moment when you're in your building and you can hear the fire alarm going off on the other side of the building, and it's not on yours. As soon as he finishes, not in yours, right, and he says, right, and then the alarm turns around and says, now hear this. And the fire alarm goes off, and he's like, well, I couldn't have done that even better than anyone else could. And so he then had to evacuate his whole hotel, his accommodation, because there was an apparent fire and someone burnt toast.
Yes,
that's happened.
Some of them are that good where it's like popcorn will set off and lock down the hospital that I worked at. Popcorn. You don't even have to burn it. It's just popcorn will set it off. So you were not allowed to make popcorn in the hospital.
When I make my pork roasts and everything else, where our smoke alarm here in Australia is located is approximately, well, I can actually see it from where I am. The oven is probably 3 meters away from it, so about 10 feet. And they've put the smoke alarm in the worst possible place because it's in a hallway and there is a chimney style effect because it goes into a stairwell.
Oh, goodness.
So if you don't have any windows and doors open or anything else, the steam from the oven comes up, hits the roof, goes out, and sets everything off. We've got the black kitty. I wonder if he's going to freak out.
He's not solid black. He's got a white patch.
Yeah, but is he going to see
himself? It looks identical to Tuffy, except for the white patch. Don't freak out, Michael. Where are you trying to go? You said you want to go out of Florida. Why?
He just wants to go to Antarctica.
I want to go to Alaska too. I don't blame him.
This would drive me crazy.
Oh, that would drive me nuts too. We had we had a fire alarm debacle going on in our house. So we had one go out, so I changed the battery in all of them. And then another one would chirp. So I would rechange the battery in that, and then another one would go off. So we finally bought all new fire alarms, replaced them all, and all of them were chirping at all different periods of time. So we had to have someone come out to the house and rewire it.
Here in Australia, we've got everything hardwired. It's illegal to sell a house or to rent a house without a fire alarm. So,
it might be the law here. I don't know. I just know it was driving me nuts.
I think it might have changed here because, like, this house, they're all just by themselves. And then
battery operated. Yep.
this house is born. Oh my goodness, made in like the late 70s. But my parents, they built their house and they had to have the system. And I think that was 2000, or no, this is late 90s. Yeah, late 90s, and one goes off, the entire house goes off.
God,
I don't know about the battery. I don't know about the battery as far as the chirping goes. I don't know if all of them go off at the same time. But I know that if one goes off because of smoke, they all go off.
What you'll find is that's probably got a hardwire plug above it. And here's my experience with fire extinguishers and fire alarms and everything else. If you've taken the smoke alarm off the ceiling and there is a cable that comes into the actual smoke alarm, it means that it is linked to other smoke alarms in the house to set them off. If it is just a standalone smoke alarm, it will just be a single unit that activates. Here in my house, I've got two, or in my apartment, I've got two, and they're linked together. So if one goes off, they both go off, so it awakens everyone. So you'll probably find that
it's a good thing that happens, because my sister's house actually caught on fire. The fan in the bathroom, the kids' bedroom was next to the master, and then connected was the master bathroom. So she was in the kids' room, and all of the smoke detectors started going off, and she went to go see what triggered it, and the flames were coming out from the master bedroom bathroom by the time she walked into the other room. So I think she was 4 months pregnant, and then she had my two nephews that she was trying to get ready.
No, well, that's the one thing that is very scary when you think that exhaust fans are the major cause of house fires as well, because the only time you ever see them get cleaned is by a professional, or if you go up into the ceiling cavity every 12 months and clean it. And there's so many people that won't do that. I ended up having it's the same with a dishwasher. It's the same with a clothes dryer as well. There's so many people that don't realise that you have to clean that out. Lint and lint, dust, everything else is flammable, and they don't realise. And it's just one spark, and it needs three. Yeah. It needs a heat source, it needs a ignition source, and it needs oxygen.
Not yet.
If we want to talk ghosts, I know of a really good place to go here in Adelaide. It's the old Adelaide Jail.
Ooh.
That would be
is it abandoned?
We will not go there at all because we end up bringing people home with us. And, yeah, we don't need that shit around us at the moment.
Not really anything out of the usual.
Hate that. People send me stuff and it just goes straight into a podcast. I'm like, I'm on a podcast.
I just want to have fun with my friends.
Mm.
Yes, I was actually about to mention that. It's like you actually can collect your lint from your dryer and then put it in like an egg carton, the cardboard ones,
Mm.
and it's a like perfect fire starter.
Yeah.
I did not know that. I'm gonna use
Yeah.
that.
And I think you can actually put like candle wax. Is it candle
The
wax?
best way to use lint in a fire starter is getting your old cardboard toilet rolls.
That too. Yeah.
Stuff the lint inside the roll, but leave it having or poke some holes in the top of it, and then light one end of the toilet roll, light the other end, and it will actually burn like a candle going inside of it.
Oh.
And
Yeah,
yes, put
see,
some
I'm
candle
not
wax to
crazy.
keep it in there. Yeah. So that's the thing, is there's so many different fire starters that we can do. And it's amazing, all of the people that are going out there. I've actually been watching a guy down here in Australia. He's on TikTok. He's going around Australia as a virtual tour.
I think you've mentioned him. I don't know if I
Yes.
follow him or not.
Sid's Ventures. I'll try to find it and put it up. Hang on a second. But yeah, he's going around Australia. And I wonder if he's live yet because he's been going all over the place, and it's been really good for him to show Australia. He actually showed a wild cassowary today.
What is the cassowary? What is that?
That would be the dinosaur bird that we've got down here that looks like an emu with the bone on top of its head.
An actual dinosaur.
So that's his TikTok.
I think I'm following him. I got his name written down to make sure.
Yeah. And so as you can see here, tree kangaroo and cassowary.
It looks like a dinosaur.
Looks like a dinosaur.
Yeah.
Huh.
There's only about
No, thank
400.
you.
Yeah. There's only about 400 of the cassowaries in the wild, unfortunately. They are vital for rainforest revegetation as well, because they'll eat the fruit and then poop out the seeds. So, but that's one thing we're very wary of down here in Australia, is the amount of wildlife that we've got. To the point where we ended up yesterday having a video pop up on my feed in regards to a mama koala had accidentally dropped her baby koala that was climbing on the wall, climbing on her back, and someone picked up the baby koala and reintroduced it to its mum and took off again. So, and that was on one of my Instagram feeds as well. So, and it's good to see, like, that's what we do here in Adelaide, is we look after our wildlife. If we see koalas that are in trouble and things like that, we'll actively go off. And here near my river, we've got plastic tubs full of water. And what we'll do is we'll actually refill the water during the day if it's really hot, because the koalas will then come down out of the tree, drink, and go back up the tree. So...
It's so cool though.
Well, you saw last week with my the possum that was in the in the clothesline out the back and things like that. That's what we do, is we look after our animals, because we realise that if we don't have them, we're going to lose a lot more. So,
right. With y'all's fires last year, that
2 years ago, yes.
2 years now.
Yep.
It was 19, or was it in 20? Or did it burn into 20?
Yes. Our fires started in September 19, and the first fire was sparked over in Brisbane. And by the time December 24th came around, the entirety of Australia, all the way around, and it was a ring of fire pretty much. So we had massive fires. So, but it's a lot better now. All the vegetation is actually growing back.
That's actually a pretty good turnaround.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the thing is, here in Australia, our flora, actually, or the trees and native shrubs and things like that, they require fire to germinate. So if we don't have fire, it won't germinate anything, and that's where the introduced species like blackberry bushes and some of the weeds and things like that, they'll actually burn and they won't germinate, whereas our Australian gums and things like that will.
The fuck? Sorry, there's a whole bunch of like notification video things popping up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And that my computer has never done. Where'd it go? I can't even hit dismiss. It's like,
yeah.
the
I had that before as well.
I've never seen that happen. 101 notifications.
Oh my goodness.
Mail has
It's
new
probably
messages.
done a full reset on your computer.
Hi, Marlene.
We'll get there.
Jerry, what? Gerber. You mother bitches, stop! Turn off all notifications. Hopefully that actually went in. I don't know why it did that to me. Weird, because I was actually trying to tell you too. Is like the fires and stuff like that. Like was the worst in state history here last year for Colorado, and it was pretty much like the entire summer was just smoke.
Yeah.
And the weird thing about it is, even though the fires and stuff like that in Colorado alone were the state's worst, just now on Saturday, Denver had the worst air quality in the world because of the fires out of state.
Yeah. Well, so like, that's the thing is
because it like funneled in somehow and just centered right on Denver. It was weird.
Well, that's the thing is when we ended up having, or when we have our wildfires and things like that, and you look at the visibility quality for us, we've had it when those bushfires were happening here in Adelaide, we were told on the radio to stay indoors, do not go outside. The air quality is that bad that you are going to end up having
no, she does it again.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Jenny, but I've got to say something soon, and I need to go and get a glass of something.
I need coffee too.
No, she doesn't need coffee. She needs a strong drink.
I don't have any alcohol in the house right now. I'm out. I am completely out.
I warned you. I warned you 24 hours ago that you needed something.
Yeah, I'm out. Well, I got I got a little bit left in this one. Okay, I have like half a can.
No, what we have to do is congratulate Cuddling Kittens on something.
Oh, I got an A on my paper.
Not only an A.
I got 100.
Yes.
I don't know what that sound was.
I can have coffee delivered, but I can't have alcohol delivered. Because
How?
The grocery store won't. They will do pickup, but they won't deliver it to the house. Otherwise, that's exactly what I would have done.
Do you want me to be evil?
What?
I can get alcohol delivered to my house.
I can too. Like, but before the show's even over, or even to the halfway mark, probably in the next half an hour.
I wouldn't. It's a 3-hour delivery time for us.
No, I probably can get it here in, I would say, an hour. And they're actually debating on making it legal to deliver weed.
Well, I can understand that.
Now that is convenient.
Well, not only that, but I've seen the effects of weed on a person that before I was actually in the Defence Force. He was in the Australian Air Force. So he was a flyboy. He ended up coming down with multiple sclerosis.
Oh.
And he ended up being in a wheelchair. He was on drugs and everything else that were prescribed, and nothing was working for him at all. He was in pain. He couldn't do a lot. And then what happened is he had a cone, one cone, and it changed for him. He was able to be a functioning adult. He could walk. He had no pain and everything else. And I was amazed because I met him after he was on the cones. And so I saw, oh, yeah, okay, he's having a smoke. Yep, all good. And then it was the fact of I could smell the other stuff in it. And I'm like, that's not a cigarette. And he's gone, no. And I've gone, I can't really be around this while I'm in training. And he's gone, no, because you are it's getting it from secondhand inhalation. I will sign a statutory declaration saying that he was around someone with multiple sclerosis who was using weed as a medicinal purpose. And so that's how, when I joined the Navy, it showed up on my system.
Yeah.
But it was such a minute trace that they're like, what's going on? And I've gone, here's my stat deck. And they're like, right, okay, so you are around someone that is utilising a illegal substance here in Australia for a medicinal purpose. And you are around him because he was training me.
The description, I was like, oh, we're just going to have to change our name to Army, Air Force, and Aussie.
Well, we've actually
No,
got...
we could do the
Air
Animal
Force,
Kingdom.
we've actually got three types. We've got combat cricket, which is Army. We got cuddling kittens, which is Air Force, and we got me as a Navy guy. We've got
When we
three
do have our
services.
Navy guy.
So it sort of
Whole
works.
space that.
Who would have ever seen that happen? And funnily enough, that's the three major services in Australia: Army, Air Force, and Navy. So yeah, when I was around that, and I saw, okay, going back to the drugs and everything else, I ended up seeing him one day. He had run out of his weed, and so he ended up going on the tablets that he was prescribed, and he couldn't do anything. He was wheelchair bound for the entire day. He was in pain, and you could see it in his face that he was just so much pain that he couldn't do anything. He ended up getting bedridden and everything else. And his wife turned around, he's gone, you've seen him at his worst and you've seen him at his best. What do you prefer? Do you prefer the illegal stuff, or do you prefer him on the prescribed stuff? And I've gone, I'd rather him on the illegal than anything, because the illegal was saving him. He was able to walk. Like, I'm sorry,
honestly,
but
it's
anyone,
healthier.
Anyone that is prescribed medication, I myself hate taking my medication, but I've got to take it. I've got what's called hypothyroidism. I am supposed to be a short fat fuck. But I'm 6'1" and a beanpole. So, and that was my gag during the Defence Force of, I'm a beanpole. I was supposed to be short. We had a girl that was 4'9" in our team. And I turned around, I said to, when they were going about medical and everything else, because they saw me taking tablets, and I said, I'm supposed to be as short as this one and weigh our heaviest guy at the same time. And they've just looked at me and they've gone, it doesn't work. So, but other than
I
that,
didn't
I'll
realize
have
how
fun.
tall you were.
I'm 6'1" or 187 centimeters.
Now you're just confusing the shit out of me.
Ugh.
Speak American, please. Just kidding.
I hear centimeters and it's like the choppers roll in and the fog because I'm in the middle of math and medical math is all in metric systems. Like, this is terrible.
I'm 5'0", 60 inches. Well, yeah, 73 inches. But I've had to have
Hubba, hubba.
I have the window open, so there is kind of like smoke coming in. But I like that was I don't know.
The wrong sort of smoke.
Right?
That explains it. I've been losing my voice the past couple days. So if you hear my voice squeak or something, it's because I am losing my voice. But I'm not sick, like no fever, no chills, nothing. But there has been smoke in the air since like Friday and Saturday. And I've been coughing a lot. And I think that might be why I'm losing my voice.
It's low air quality. And that's what it is. During winter time, when people have low air quality, so depending on your heating system, it can be carbon monoxide poisoning. So, which is extremely scary because carbon monoxide will actually put you to sleep before it actually kills you.
I'm tired,
silent
but
killer.
I don't think it's from CO2 because I've got CO2 monitors in the house.
CO2 is carbon dioxide. Carbon monoxide is CO.
CO? I don't know if it tests for that, to be honest. I have to ask Matt. Matt bought something.
Smoke alarms do not test for carbon monoxide.
We have it's like a beige square thing that plugs in and it sits low to the ground. I don't know I think it measures CO2, maybe. I'm not sure. I'd have to ask my husband. He was just like, oh, well, this will be good.
Yeah, we got these little things that like light up and change color if it detects any, it'll start to change color. He's like, if it's a little bit or whatever, and then I believe the ones we have in like the basement, like will just scream.
John.
My voice is slowly going. I'm hoping that getting out of Vegas and getting out of the smoky weather will help.
Yes, it will. I promise it will, because like I said last year with the fires and stuff like that, and then now currently with the smoke, and it's just it sits in your lungs. Even like my lungs have gotten to the point from being exposed to like the burn pits and stuff like that. It sits in my lungs. So even when we have a campfire, I spend the entire morning just like pounding on my chest, hacking up a lung just from having the campfire smoke around me. Yes, we can make it a game, because when Judy snorts, they drink. Yes.
Is that where we turn around and play the game of jokes and bad jokes?
Bad jokes. Do we have any this evening?
Of course, I've always got jokes. You should know that by now.
I wanted to make sure, because they put me on the spot. I don't have my notebook.
I don't have any dad jokes. I've been busy with that math homework, and yes. I had to call the school, and I was just like, I don't understand what I'm doing. I need help.
It's not. Yeah, it's no flipping joke.
Oh, I see so many jokes on TikToks as well that I forget half of them.
I know, when I see it and then I get all excited and I'll like bump my phone when I'm trying to find something to write it down, and I lose it forever. Like fucking TikTok.
If you like the video though, you can go to your profile and hit view liked videos. So that's why if it's a dad joke, I instantly like it. So in case I bump my phone and it goes woo, I can find it.
I'm gonna have to start doing that. Just like to trigger like.
I am the product of a midwife and a firefighter. The Defence Force perfected me.
Hi, Amber.
So yeah, I
Let's
am the
go
epitome of a
with
joke.
G now. There, Michael.
Stick with rated G.
Yes.
Okay.
We do have a younger crowd that just joined us. Thankfully,
True.
lovely.
Okay.
So you got this. This is Kyle's route. Can you? I don't know if you could see his route that he's running across the country.
Oh.
The gold. He's currently on this big line here. Well, I don't know. He's most excited for the next part is down in Texas as well, which is actually really cool because he was able to. He gave me his new poker chip.
Challenge coin.
I like that.
But the coins are whoop, didn't want to turn it that way. So he's got poker chips because they're a little bit more, or not more, but less costly than coins. And then Audie gave me this.
Nice. All right.
Yep, bracelets. I got all kinds of stuff.
Corny dad joke.
Yes.
I'm afraid of the calendars. Their days are numbered.
I like that.
Okay, I need to pull up some dad jokes because I like
Right.
this.
See, there goes my neighbor jokes. Yes. Younger ones around.
Okay.
You always gotta love the dad joke though, because they're so corny, but they're just so funny.
All right. Singing in the shower is fun until you get soap in the mouth. Then it's a soap opera.
It took me a second.
All right. Sorry, I'm gonna be right back. Continue with your dad jokes, please.
Yes.
What's long, black, and no,
my.
finish that one. Can't finish that one because that's a submarine joke.
It really takes guts to be an organ donor. Hi, Jack. What's up?
Hey. Why do fathers take an extra pair of socks when they go to play golf?
I don't know why.
Just in case they get a hole in one.
It took me a second. I was like, hole in golf.
Because you remember how they used to put the protective sock over the woods in the old days?
Yes, I got one. What do you call a pudgy psychic? A fortune teller.
What do a tick and the Eiffel Tower have in common?
I don't know what.
They are both parasites.
What do you call a naughty lamb dressed up like a skeleton for Halloween? Bad to the bone.
All right, going to Halloween jokes. Why was the skeleton so bad at standing up?
Goodbye.
Because he had no guts.
Why do bees have sticky hair? Because they use a honeycomb.
She's back.
Yes.
My hat's like sticking to my foundation.
Okay.
It made like this like sound.
I have so much makeup on the side of my earphones that it won't come off anymore. It just stained it. And I'm like, this is so unfortunate. I'm not going to put makeup on like from this part of my face forward. It looks weird.
Right? Because when you're doing it too, it's like, but I know I'm going to wear a hat tonight. Kind of go up.
Well, I'm trying to grow out my bangs, but what was nice before when I had the full set of bangs, I wouldn't even bother to put makeup up there because I'm like, my bangs are going to hide it.
And I usually like last minute will decide because the alien hat that I have, Rob actually ordered it, and he doesn't really wear hats, so he's like, I really want this hat. I was like, you're never gonna wear it. He's like, but I really want this hat. It's like, order it, I'll wear it. He's like, okay. And then the first time that I wore it, I was just like, sure you're not gonna wear it because I'm gonna get makeup all over it. What? Yes. I'm going to put makeup on, and it sits on my forehead. This one is a little weird that it just like it did. It seriously made it because I pulled the bill forward. And it's never happened before.
I didn't even know that would happen.
It's never happened before.
How do you follow Will Smith in the snow?
How?
You follow the Fresh Prince.
I like that one. I didn't hear a couple of the other ones. Sorry.
What do you call a fish wearing a bow tie?
Sophisticated? Is it? I got one. I don't know. I don't always wear shoes. Or I have
I'm not a shoe person. I have plenty of shoes because they match certain outfits, but I won't go out of my way to buy a new pair of shoes, if that makes sense. I will buy a new outfit to match what I have.
I will spend more money on a hat than I will a pair of shoes if I could.
I spend my money on yarn. I have enough yarn that I could probably open a small craft store.
Okay, most women. Yeah, we're really not normal.
My better half ordered a pair of shoes. They are slightly too big, and my eldest daughter fits into them.
Bagels. Bagels.
That looks like it would fit. Those would fit me. What size does it have the US size on the tongue?
Yes, 7 youth.
I probably could fit in them, actually.
Yeah.
No, not 7 youth. Let's see. 7 youth is my son. And I'm like a size 4, 4.5 in like girls.
Jesus, you've got itty bitty feet. I'm over here in a size 9 in women's, a size 7 in men's.
So I could do women's 6. Yeah, women's 6.
Okay.
Isn't that like it's weird? The girls and then the women,
sizing is weird.
It doesn't continue.
My youngest son. So that fits my eldest daughter. My youngest son is in a 3 youth. So
See, our middle boy, his feet are huge. I don't know what size it is, but he just left.
My youngest son, he is only 6. My eldest daughter is 13.
And they both have shoes about as big as mine.
Yeah. No, my better half has tiny feet. She's actually, she's in a size 6 of American for a youth.
Yeah, like I'm a size 9. My mom is actually got slightly bigger feet than I do.
Your spouse, significant other, wife? seems to be the same shoe size. See, boy has really big feet, and like I said, our middle, which I called I call my basement mouse. For some reason, he's not like super tall, but his feet are huge.
Well, we're expecting because that's my youngest son. He's in a in Australia. He's in a size 2. He's in a size 3 child. My eldest son is in a size, so it's a youth size 3. My eldest son is in a size 1. So my eldest son is smaller than my youngest.
Well, and that's what's happening with our oldest. Our oldest has regular size feet, while the middle is just like they're huge. Like,
have you got him in swimming yet?
no, he wants to. I've been trying to keep encouraging him with track because he really likes to do track.
Yep.
So
the oldest what's he doing track?
So our oldest and middle is actually Rob's boys from his previous marriage, and then I have my son that's the youngest. So I say the eldest, middle, and little.
A blended family.
But the boys mainly stay with their mom. That's why he's like my middle child. I said to the group earlier, it was like he scared the shit out of me, or I jumped out of my skin because I forgot he was here. Because when he is here, he is quiet as a mouse. Seriously, he like the teenage boy goes down in the basement and stays quiet. Like he plays his games and comes up every once in a while to eat. And scared the shit out of me.
Goes back down.
And goes back down. Yeah, that's exactly it. So it's like, I forget you're here because normally during the week I am by myself. So
I used to deliberately freak people out when I was at work because, as you know, steel cap boots, they make a hell of a lot of noise. And you can usually hear them on a steel deck. When I was able to silently run, people would not hear me and I would come past them and you would see them jump to the side because they couldn't hear me coming. And I would do this regularly because I was that sort of a prick.
And see, running, I've always been bad about it. I slap the ground when I run.
I do too. I'm loud.
Yeah, I try not to, but it ends up happening.
I can be loud and I can be silent, and I'm able to be silent when I need to be. And it was usually during the silent hours when I would be silent, and there would be people running around doing things, and all of a sudden they see me come through, and they're like, "Where the hell did you come from?" Yeah, I was one of those people that would just be a shit stirrer.
Who the hell? I would jump off.
I scared a lot of as bad as it sounds, because I was training a lot of the females. I was training a lot of the males for fire safety and flooding and things like that. So I'd end up coming through past people and I'd be going, "What's this?" And they would jump because they couldn't hear me walk up behind them. Yeah, I used to hunt semen.
I was actually just thinking about that, like you were talking about, like startling. I actually startled our middle this morning, or no, not this morning, last night. He like grabbed his shit. Oh my god! So, but he's already quiet as it is. So like I said, he's a mouse. He stays in the basement most of the time. Quit it, Jenny.
I'm so sorry.
It's only 10:30 in the morning.
I asked my husband to bring me more coffee. He's like, you should have grabbed it before you went live. And I'm like, whole lot of good that does me now.
Yeah. Well, it is top of the hour.
But we don't have Sai to say it.
I know.
Can you do a deep voice? I can't.
Well,
you know
it's
that
top of the hour. Nope. Well, I just turned around and started talking like this and
we
said,
forgot
"Stop
the
the hour."
slide.
Oh, mother bitches. We did.
I'm going to grab some coffee real fast.
Alright, so as Kittens runs off and grabs a little bit of caffeine, we this is our slide for our fucking network. So we're Veterans Anonymous. We're available on twitch.tv/vetsanon, YouTube/Veterans Anonymous, Facebook Veterans Anonymous 22. What I've said before is our Facebook, we do get a lot of viewers through that. However, if you are wanting to go back and pull up a show, I recommend you go and follow our YouTube, because on our Facebook, the streams do not stay active for, I believe it's like 30 to 60 days. I think it depends, but it doesn't stay. So if you want to go look back on our shows, I recommend YouTube. So Monday Night Mayhem with Lunchbox and Judy should be returning here shortly. You can catch them on it's a freaking Central Standard Time. Always throws me off. 8 Eastern Standard Time. Scramjet you can catch with W, Miss Kittens, Uncle Si, the American when he is able to jump in. The American is jumping in between Tuesdays and Wednesdays because he will be doing his BBQ and bourbon on Fridays, which we need to add to our slide. Wednesday nights you can catch us here on the Crossroads with myself and Miss Kittens, Uncle Si, and like I said, the American will be hopping back and forth. And then to fill out your week with your safety brief, other than your BBQ and bourbon on Fridays, you got Full Metal Crayon Eaters, and they say or claim to be the best show on the network, which it's debatable. But you can catch us at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesdays and Thursdays, and 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesdays. We do have an email if you want to send us pictures or tell us about an organization that you would like for us to look into so we can promote for it. We do have Kyle going across the country. Currently, I did show his route earlier in the sticker that I got from him. He does have a Venmo, and if you all will be so nice to share his information if you cannot donate. She's back. Is she
We're
back?
getting a lot of
And I've got double espresso coffee.
I brought my big cup.
What's wrong, coffee?
I had
Well,
to
it
wake
could
up
be worse.
early. I had to wake up early for a webinar for class, and then I've just been up and awake. And I'm probably gonna stay up late working on homework. So it's like I need the coffee. The coffee is the go-go juice.
No, what you need is this.
I'm afraid that would upset my stomach, though. Although I really want to eat them.
I can't have chocolate, and I don't care too much for coffee, so
I
Just to
survive
keep
off
people
coffee.
awake.
That's true. I probably should look in and see if they have something like that here.
You can order this online. It just takes a couple of weeks
Michael,
to get there.
I don't do the adding and the editing. Okay, I'm not that great.
Not
It will
yet,
be
anyway.
added. With the rhythmic background. Wait.
Ducky had some background noise. I just don't know what it was. So I was afraid to ask.
Oh. It's the beans.
Oh,
The beans.
It was the beans.
All right. So now that we're at the hour mark, where did they go, mother bitches? Where'd it go? Like legit, where'd it go? Well, Ducky, can you say in your deepest voice, roll that beautiful beard footage?
Roll that beautiful beer footage.
Gotta make it awkward.
Yeah, as foolish as we are. Oh yeah, we danced till the sun came up. Oh yeah, we danced till the sun came up.
I had that song
Oh, I
in my
hit it
head
just
the
in
other
time.
day.
Michael just wrote what I said. When
You're
I
more
was
than
hunting.
welcome to come over. I've got plenty of coffee. Not in here, but downstairs. Yeah, downstairs. Downstairs.
All
I
right,
still think the
Mr.
funniest
Meat.
time I've had cuddles on the actual screen is when the black cat saw itself in the screen and just sat there. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah, they'll
That's a couple of months
often
ago.
they'll sit back there and they'll either lick each other, which is super weird, or they'll stare. And I really don't know which is worse.
I don't know which.
I booted them out of the room. Sometimes I forget, or they'll hide under the bed, so I think that they're out, and then they just pop up. And I'm just like, God damn it! God, they are some creepy freaking cats. I woke up last night feeling like I was being stared at, and I look over, and instead of a nightstand, I have this big leather chair next to my bed, and the cat is sitting on the armchair of this chair, just intently staring at me. I don't know what he wanted. His food bowl is full. There's water in his water bowl. I was just like, bro.
You
then he
do
just-
realize that he's plotting to kill you.
I think he is. The other day, it's just he stares, and then he'll come up and he'll head boot me, and I'm just like, I don't want to pet you. You're being weird.
I don't trust you.
I don't. He's my husband's cat, and now he sleeps on my side of the bed. He comes up during podcasts to sit in my lap, and he purrs. I'm like, what is this purring nonsense? You've never made this noise before. I don't trust this cat. But now we've had him since 2016, and he finally comes up to me and loves on me and wonders why I'm suspicious of him. I'm like,
It's like,
I don't
oh,
trust
there's
this
another
cat.
human that I'm not getting rid of. I might as well give attention to them every once in a while.
Yeah, I don't trust this cat at all.
True. No, well, that's the thing is I'm hoping that, well, actually, I've got, in October, I've got to be out of this house and into another one. So our lease is up, and we asked to extend, and they've gone, nope, not extending the lease. So I've got a busy couple of months.
Oh, packing is no fun. We're moving in
No,
October.
well-
It looks like we're moving in October too. So be on that packing train with you.
Yep. Well, actually, over the next couple of weeks, we'll be emptying the house and putting it all into storage, and then trying to find a new place. And it's just a headache, the fact of all that. But I don't really want to have to move really far away from where we are at the moment, because all of the kids are settled in their school. So if we have to move far away, it means we'd have to move their school again. And I really don't want to have to do that. It's not like moving states, it's moving suburbs. But
Just moving in general sucks,
Sucks.
Yeah.
especially with kids.
Oh God, yeah. Every
Have a
time-
fire sale, no,
You know,
I'll just
those
light the whole place on fire.
those crotch goblins.
We call that
moving-
a garage sale.
Say that again.
A fire sale is called a garage sale here in Australia.
Garage.
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 Garage. Can you say garage?
Garage.
Huh. I can't say it the way he
That's
says
garage.
it. Garage.
It feels weird, doesn't it?
Garage.
Garage.
See,
Yeah.
we even say things differently too.
Mm. It's exactly the same. Like if there's another guy, Gray the Bushy. He's actually started to do a fair few lives on Instagram with a few other people, and when I get on there, they can actually hear the difference between myself and him. He's over in what is what's called Western Australia, and I'm in South Australia. So if you have a look at the states of Australia, you've basically got on one side, on this side of Australia, which is the west side, you've basically got a straight line all the way down, and it's majority of desert and mining population, and then you've got a little snippet down here of greenery. So I digress. Fire sale is burning it all. Yeah.
Yes, I have so much stuff that I thought I went through everything, and then I found more shit that I need to go through that I completely forgot. Because I'm trying to downsize as much as possible, so I have less to unpack. I'm like, if I really need it, then I will repurchase it. But for now, either donate it, toss it, or sell it. Like, no. Plus, I have some of those like IKEA shelves. So, the cheap stuff, the pressed boards crap, it's cheap shit. And I don't think those are going to make the move. So I'm trying to like, it's what I want to do. But our fire pit needs to be replaced anyways because it's starting to rust through. So I've got to put our old fire pit out for trash pickup. And then I'm not sure if I want to buy a new one here and just burn the old wood or see if somebody wants it.
You'd probably find someone will take the wood anyway.
Yeah. I'd be like, maybe you could come up with something to do with it. But I figured
if you ended up putting a sign out the front, you'll probably find that someone will and say, hey, firewood for sale, moving out. They'd probably come knock on the door and take it and that, because here in Australia, our fire, or when we have firewood for sale, it's getting up to $300 a ton of wood. So, and that only or for some people, a ton of wood only lasts 2 weeks. So
a ton, like an actual ton, only lasts 2. Damn.
Yeah. My father, he's got the stove, and 1 ton will last him 1 month. And during the winter months, he will replenish his stocks and things like that. We're lucky we've actually got a friend that has a large forested area that ends up having trees fall and things like that. And there's redwood, there's Australian gums, and
Brilliant.
I could not survive with that because my yarn probably fits into the smallest U-Haul truck, and that's it. And I'm not getting rid of that. That is the one thing I'm not downsizing, is the yarn and the storage stuff for the yarn.
Yeah.
Oh, a cord of wood is a ton. I thought he was talking about like the weight measurement of a ton. I was like, going through that in 2 weeks is insane.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize it was a cord of wood.
Okay, cord. Yeah. I was like, that's a shit ton of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No. Like, what are they?
A ton of the wood is a ton of weight. Like there's people that just have their wood fires burning 24/7, and they will.
Okay.
Yeah. So they don't burn the wood, like they don't stop the fire through the middle of the day. There's people out there that'll end up just burning wood constantly, and so it doesn't stop. So, but yeah, my parents' house, they only light the fire at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon and stop the fire at about 11 o'clock at night. So, yeah, I've never heard of a cord of wood. So,
We
Yeah,
just
I've never
had
heard
a
of cord.
tree fall 3 years ago. Thankfully, the way that it came down, it was like a crazy windstorm. It didn't hit the house, it didn't hit the fence, so I started dragging it and piling it up.
Well, we ended up having a big windstorm come through a couple of weeks ago here in Adelaide, and we lost power in my suburb. And what it was a tree actually fell over and hit the power lines in the suburb and just shorted everything out. So, and we've on the power lines, we've got 3-phase. So I know that you guys have 115 volts, but here in Australia we've got 240, and we've got 240 volt going through our power cords. And because there's 240, we end up having 3 lines going across on a single line. Now, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, they're all positive charge, so they're always going this way. If phase 1 and 2 short together, it ends up sparking. So, yeah, that's how we end up with a lot of power surges, is because trees fall over, power lines fall over, they touch, and bang.
See, I've never used that much wood. I usually just buy the little bundles, and that lasts us like an entire weekend.
Yeah.
And then I just burn cardboard boxes.
Hi, Bill.
Hi.
Once we get Cy back, we're gonna have you on, so y'all can play Family Feud, Americans versus Aussies.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully that'll be in about 3 weeks.
Well, hopefully Uncle Cy gets back with us next week and he's feeling better.
Mm.
And then if we can have you guys on, being awesome. Because you still have a tie to break with Felix too.
I know, it's
So when
nuts.
Felix is back. Because Felix
crazy
actually,
to think.
so this is Sturgis this week up in South Dakota.
It's crazy to
I'm
think that we're
excited
still
for
tied after 2 rounds. Yes, everything.
This is
Oh,
our
I don't
ducky.
know. It's not me.
That's the thing. There's so many different drinks and everything that we end up seeing here in Australia as well. So I ended up going down to what's called the Big Shed brewery last weekend with a friend. That was great. Main reason because while I was there, got to taste some really nice beers, couple of stouts, and hopefully in a couple of weeks, well, actually next week, is the launch of the fruit choc beer. So the apricot stout.
I was just gonna say the
That
one.
sounds kind of good.
So hopefully in a couple of weeks, I'm not sure when. It sounded like my boss was sending me a message saying, can I
There's 2 now.
yes, I'm going backwards. Can I work tomorrow? So hopefully there's some work for me next week as well. But we'll see what happens. If there is, there is. If there isn't, there isn't. So got to get it while I can. But then also the better thing is that the partner went for 4 jobs 2 weeks ago. Put the application in, and over the last 2 weeks, or over the last week, she's had 3 interviews. So, which is good. So 3 out of 4. I'm hoping that she gets 1 of them, because those 4 are full-time work instead of being casual and going, oh, okay, I don't have work this week. So.
Well, fingers crossed from here.
Yes.
And Bill, I'm from Adelaide.
So I
I'm from
would.
Adelaide. I eat fruit chocs, and also, funnily enough, there's a soft drink brand here in Adelaide that was bought out by Coca-Cola called Kirk's. And the mate that I went drinking with, funnily enough, is part of the family that used to be Kirk's and sold it to Coke. But this is a soft drink that is only available here in Adelaide.
I like the packaging with
The little penguin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
I
like,
love
okay, that's cute. I
Yeah.
like that.
It's something I grew up on. It's one of the soft drinks that I grew up on here in Adelaide. And when I went overseas, and I thought, oh yeah, okay, it's a drink that is everywhere. So you can imagine my dismay when I travelled around Australia, and I've gone, oh, I want to go get a snowdrop, and I went into a supermarket, and I'm like,
There's nothing.
where's my drink? And that was the first case of me going and getting disappointed in a supermarket.
Kind of two questions now for Ask Aussies.
Yeah.
You kept saying a soda drink?
Soft drink.
Soft drink, sorry. I mixed up what I was going to ask. Like, so is there any part of Australia that they call it soda or
Nope.
pop?
Nope. It's for us when we have what we call a pop top is a kid's drink with a sipper tap on it, and I've got one right here.
A pop top?
Pop top?
Because my pop top, in my brain, I'm thinking like a normal can of Coke. That's a pop top? Oh, see, it makes sense though. I just call that a water bottle.
Yeah. So here in Australia, we've got Pump, which is just normal spring water that is sold from Coca-Cola. So that's for us a pop top. But then also, if you ask for, we've got in Adelaide, we know it as a Audie. I'll comment on that question in a second. We've got what we call a fruit box or a popper or a juice box, which is a cardboard box with fruit juice in it.
The juice
So
box.
my kids love it. When I go to the shops next, I'll pick up a 6-pack and keep one for you so I can show you next time. And then because Bill was in Victoria, I have something, or he calls it Devon. Adelaide calls it Fritz, and Western Australia calls it Bologna. And it's all exactly the same.
Every
Bologna.
time Bologna.
It's exactly
No,
the
it's
same
called
thing.
Bologna, but it's spelled Bologna.
Bologna.
Yeah.
I always sing that my Bologna has a first name. Like every time I think of Bologna, I always think of Oscar Mayer, even though I never buy Oscar Mayer.
Mm. Well, that's the thing is then we've got the Metwurst, which is a sausage in skin, which
Bratwurst.
is a bratwurst
So you call it
or
Met?
a Hungarian salami.
I've just always just called it a bratwurst.
Yeah, we've got
Yeah, you want a brat?
because here in Adelaide, because we've got the oldest German village in Australia, a lot of our butchery techniques and sausages and things like that have got a German twist to it, and that's how we ended up with Fritz. It's pork ground up finely and into a tube. I grew up on it. You can roast it on a fire. You can eat it cold. It's just that versatile. And then we've got the salamis and the salamis, then the Metwursts, and salami is usually a little bit thinner. Then you got the Metwurst, which is about an inch in diameter or an inch round. and it comes in about a foot length. And yeah, really nice. You get plenty of different flavors on it and everything. So yes, fried bologna sandwiches.
I've never had one.
I've never had it either.
Mm.
I know that
If you
people
get
are
the
like,
bologna
oh,
in
fried
a
bologna
tube,
or spam. Like, I've never had spam.
it's
Oh, see, I have. I
spam.
stick my fork in it and just eat it.
Like a
Like,
Yeah,
popsicle.
spam is different.
Yeah.
Yeah, spam is different from bologna.
But what I was saying is like I know that like people like fried bologna and then they like fried spam, so that's what I was like. I've never had either
Oh,
one.
I never fry it. I just
Yeah.
cut it up. I heat it up on the stove, but I don't like the fried meat texture very often. So I usually just, since it's already, essentially pre-cooked, I just warm it up and throw it in mac and cheese.
So Kyle actually mistook your picky eating for me because we were deciding where to go eat, and we're all out in New Mexico. None of us are from there. He's like, well, what kind of food do you want? I was like, I don't really care too much. I'm not a picky eater. Boy is, and he's like, you're a picky eater. He's like, that's Jenny.
Yeah, I am definitely a picky eater. I will go hungry and then wait until I'm home and eat a giant bowl of cereal, just so I'm not rude. But it's like I'm picky.
What?
Going back to Joshua
We've never
Charles'
had.
comment.
Yeah, we've never had fried.
Oh, the fried bologna.
Mm-hmm.
Josh, because of it being a liquid I can't send it international.
Ooh, excuse me.
I can't because it's a PFT bottle. If it gets bounced around too much, it will explode.
Oh.
Potato cakes.
The soft drink he was talking about.
Potato cakes or scallops?
Oh, scalloped.
Here we go.
potatoes.
This
Okay.
is
That has like. Isn't
okay.
potato cakes like the hash brown?
Here's in Australia, we've got a massive, and I mean a massive rivalry with that. Potato cakes are a bit like your hash browns, but a lot more solid. And depending on the state, it depends on what they call them. It's a bit like the game of palmy and palmer. In Western Australia, you turn around and it's called a palmy. In South Australia, it's called a palmy. It's a parmigiana. But over in the East Coast, they call it a parma because they say parmigiana. And a parmigiana
They're both saying it wrong. It's Parmesan.
No, and that's the thing.
Right?
It's
Parmesan?
the way that we say it.
Parmesan. Yeah,
And what it
that's
is,
cool,
it's
though.
a beaten up piece of meat, crumbed, and then deep fried. So chicken, veal, beef, really, really
Oh, where they
thin.
bread it and then for like chicken parmesan or parmigiana or whatever.
Yeah.
I've had that. It's delicious. See that I will eat. Pretty much any Italian dish, as long as it's not too wild and crazy, I'll eat it.
Yeah. Tom, come on.
You say that for Bill. Him and Bill.
Don't worry, Tom, I'll get you back. I'll just challenge him to a drinking contest.
Bologna. See, it's Bologna. It's not really. It's bologna.
Yeah.
I've only had the canned stuff.
I've
It
never
comes
had
in handy in a
spam.
pinch.
I would eat the real spam, not the canned spam.
So you've had both?
Living in Britain, they actually had the original can. They had the original spam, and the original spam is a lot better, and it's a different way. Yeah, it's not. Yeah. Potato cakes here.
pancakes.
Yeah. It's.
See, I call them potato cakes because they're like they're the hash brown, but they're like squished
Yeah.
together.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is, and yeah, it's a massive. Like we'll turn around and you can go between. You can go to a fish and chip shop here in Australia, in South Australia, order one, and go to a different place in Victoria, order the same thing, and they look at you like, "The hell are you talking about?" And no, Bill, I'm Navy. I went to Melbourne.
I do like some.
I do like chicken parm.
Tom, Kyle almost got me to try those crayons. He's like,
Hang
"Oh, you
on.
gotta totally eat one." Tom will get mad. I was like, no, because they're chocolate, so I can't have chocolate.
You know what you do to make a Marine upset? You open their box of crayons, break one, keep half of it, and send the box to them.
Oh, you got the big tub.
I was actually going to take this to Kyle, and I completely forgot it. That whole adventure. Bacon spam?
That'd be a combo I've never tried.
You answered that one.
Yes, I'm a pusser. I'm an pusser, anchor wanker, but I never went down on big long things full of semen.
I would do anything.
I was going to say, I believe Bill was not Navy. So, well, and there you go. So he was Army.
Yeah.
Da. That was
Yeah,
horrible.
so
that was
he used
horrible.
to dig
Don't
a
touch
ditch
me.
and Bill used to dig a ditch and sleep in it. I just used to navigate by it. So, but yeah, so going back to the Kangaroo Island.
Oh yeah, you
Here
did
in
get a question about Kangaroo Island.
Yes. Yeah. Kangaroo Island is the island south of South Australia. It is isolated. It is a national heritage now, and the animals there are free of disease. There is no STDs for the koalas.
I saw your face. You're like, I have to say this.
Yeah. It's the only place in Australia where the kangaroos, emus, and koalas do not have any sexually transmitted diseases. So the koalas do not have chlamydia.
Like, mine.
Yeah. So you think of all of the koalas that are here in Australia on the mainland, they actually have chlamydia.
Ew.
On Kangaroo Island, when we were having the bushfires, back in 2019 to 2020, we lost 65% of the forested area of Kangaroo Island. Oh, liverwurst.
No.
Oh, thank you.
I will pick out the bacon.
But during the fires, a lot of the people, because we were trying to save a lot of the
liverwurst. Or are you talking about the bologna, fried bologna that we talked about
liverwurst
earlier?
and bologna.
No, yeah.
I say because the comments do come in.
Yeah.
Weird.
So during the bushfires and everything, there was a lot of people going over trying to rescue the koalas, rescue all of the wildlife that was getting injured. And so what they were doing is they were trying to bring the animals from Kangaroo Island onto the mainland. Now, because they couldn't isolate the animals from Kangaroo Island from the mainland, they were worried that the diseases that the mainland animals had would actually jump across the ditch and then end up going through the actual Kangaroo Island. So blood sausage.
No.
See, I would probably try it if you didn't say? Liver, 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 liver.
Well, we've got a beautiful lady who's a cook here in Australia called Maggie Beer. And she's out of a place called the Barossa Valley here in Adelaide. And she does a lot of jams, a lot of pate. Well, actually, what do you guys? It is pate there as well, or what? It's sort of
I hear pate and I think about my cat's food.
Yeah, it looks a bit like it.
I've heard pate before.
eaten it.
I don't
I've
think
heard
I've
it.
ever had it.
My cat's food says pate on it.
Yeah. So here in Australia, we actually have crisp bread, and then using a knife, cut the pate and eat it. And there's all sorts of yep. I know it's Maggie Beer is an amazing woman. She does TV and everything, but she's now starting to sell her products. And she does pates, she does jams, she does sauces and everything. It's great. And yeah, she ends up having a restaurant, and you go up there and doing a taste test with her. It's amazing. So yeah, crackers in the States. It's weird.
Well, when you said fish and chips, like we call chips.
Yeah.
And crackers
Fries.
are crackers.
Yeah.
Fries are your chips.
Yeah. So I grew up in German food, a lot of it.
My grandmother would make a lot of German dishes, and I went hungry a lot until my mom snuck me some cereal. I was the kid that never liked liver, and every time Grandma would make it, I'd be like, I'm not putting that on my plate. And she goes, well, then you go hungry. And I'd be like, fine. I'm not eating it, because if it's on my plate, I have to eat it.
Crisps.
No.
Crisps. Potato chips.
Yeah, so it's amazing all of the stuff that we've got. And me working tomorrow, I don't know what time, so it depends. I might actually be able to buy a few things, and if
I'll fight you for Chili Mac.
Bill, no. Yes, I understand what you're saying.
I don't. I'm getting a mental image of a bag full of maggots, and you're hitting a horse with them. That sounds gooey and noisy.
It's like gone.
We call this dead horse.
That's ketchup.
No, it isn't. This is thinner than ketchup.
Oh.
Ketchup for you guys is really, really thick, gloopy. This actually runs out. I can do this. I've got the tap closed, so it's not going to run out, and it will just run out.
It just seems like
And
really thin
a maggot
ketchup.
bag is a meat pie.
How do you associate maggots with a dish?
Ew.
That don't make no sense. Not block.
We've got some very interesting names for them.
Well, it's even like you said, like a spider.
Yeah.
I'm afraid to ask what a snot block is. Is that a tissue?
There's a heart emoji face, so maybe it's not so bad. It just sounds wrong.
It just sounds wrong because you've got to wear it during summer.
Snot block. You gotta wear it. Are we talking? So snot block's
You
not
put it
food.
on your skin.
Sunblock.
What do you call a snot block? It has nothing to do with your nose.
Sunblock,
Because when it comes
sunscreen.
out, it's all chunky.
That don't make no sense.
Why
gotta
is it
go.
chunky?
I'm really busy. Why is it chunky?
When you end up when you get your sunblock, you shake it up and then when it comes out and you just squeeze it, when you've got a really runny nose and you've got kids, I know that Jenny would have seen this, and the kid sneezes and it just comes out and they snort it back up again because it drips out in a big drip.
My
Yeah.
sunscreen don't do that.
Where it's not as sweet as ketchup. It's because we are obsessed with putting sugar in everything.
Everything.
Yes.
I don't mind ketchup,
Yes.
but I prefer not to use ketchup unless it's like in a burger. But like on my fries, it's not quite my thing.
Bubble and Squeak I grew up with, and I also have eaten haggis from when I was traveling. So haggis is sheep's stomach. Oh, okay, you've got,
No, with the freaking banana pudding.
vanilla slice as well, yeah.
Do you call it tanning lotion?
Yeah, we've got tanning lotions as she's like this. We've stalled someone.
She froze. There she goes.
This
There you go.
Pink,
And you just see
apparently.
the hands go up and down.
It took me a second to realize she froze because I was just like, why is she standing so still? I was so confused.
It's her connection to the Australian internet.
Right? Oh, the ghost. Yeah. Well, I've been keeping the crayons in here.
Give it
Hasn't
5
really-
minutes. He saw
Right.
you move the crayons.
I did have it, and I even said that I was going to take them somewhere and remove them from this house. So maybe it's like,
Yeah. So yeah, now we're going into foods and everything, which is hilarious. Yeah, I've traveled the world. I've had an absolute ball traveling the world.
mhm.
And then I ended up with a jerky this week from the Big Shed Brewery, and it was XXX jerky. It had Carolina Reaper in it. It had habanero. It had normal chili. And there was about 3 different chilies that were on the high Scoville setting. And here I am just chewing on it going, yeah, it's a little bit of a burn.
I was just gonna say Michael's dream. I love jerky.
I gave it over to, I gave some to my kids. Now, my youngest son with the big feet loves chili. And he turned around and he said, yeah, I'll have some. Gave some to him and I've gone, it's a lot hotter than normal. Yeah, that's okay. Tastes it. Doesn't burn on the first part. Chews it a little bit more. And then the chili hit. Yeah.
Excuse me.
He ended up going and running and getting the water, and I've gone, don't grab the water, get the milk. So yeah, I end up, or I usually get the bum burner sausage from the Riverland Metwest Company, and it's actually got chili seeds on the outside of it.
See, you, Michael, and Baby Jesus need to do like where you guys all eat the same spicy thing.
Yes.
I think that would be an amazing idea
Oh yeah.
because y'all are nuts.
Well, that's how, when I was traveling, that's how I ended up getting away with so much and eating so many different things. I myself grew up here in Adelaide with an Indian family next door. And every week I'd be over there eating eating their food. So I had cardamom, I had all of their spices and everything else. And one of the trips back from the Middle East, I ended up stopping in
Fire in your hole.
It looks so delicious. I just don't think I could eat it. I think it would, because if I eat food that's too spicy, my stomach, just the stomach part, burns, and then I'm sick in the bathroom for a while.
He says
Yeah.
that he does make it without all the peppers and stuff like that, which that would be what I want, please.
Yeah.
Because it looks friggin' delicious. I know that the moment I smell it, I'm not going to touch it.
Because I want to try his Reaper sauce, but I'm not sure it would actually agree with my stomach, and I'm worried that it would actually make me sick.
Okay, here we go. GayFL. We actually call it GayFL here in Adelaide as well. It's the Australian Football League, so it's our AFL football. That's
Soccer
around Australia.
or football?
It's football.
Football or American football?
No, it's not American football. It's an Australian football.
That's where we were like,
so we've got the 4 goalposts at the end of the oval, which then end up having 6 points for the 2 centre, and then you've got 1 point for the 3 on the. So you've got sort of like this. So in through here and here is 1 point, and in through the middle is 6 points. And you kick the football through it. So, it's easier if you actually YouTube how to play Australian football. And then, yes,
I know,
we've got
it's just
rugby
kind
as
of like,
well.
I need to look this up because I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Australian rules football.
all right, Jenny, if you can keep up with the comments, I got to be right back.
Yeah.
All right.
So we end up having AFL, and
Football.
I enjoy the game more than anything. And I usually sit there drinking, versing my mate, and he'll end up.
It's like rugby.
Not really. We've
That's
got
what
rugby.
Google would say.
Yeah. We've got rugby. We've also got AFL. We've also got gridiron, which is the American football. So.
It's a little different, but close to rugby. Okay. I'm not familiar with rugby at all. So it's like those are sports that I don't know much about. I don't follow a lot of sports in general. I like hockey and baseball. That's about it.
Yeah. Well, it's a bit hard not to enjoy. It's a bit hard not to enjoy hockey when you see how the Aussie beat the Americans in the Olympics with hockey.
I haven't been watching the Olympics. I don't have cable. So I haven't.
The Olympics is finished. The Olympics finished on the weekend, and now we're getting ramped up for the disabled Olympics. So the Paralympics. So, which is good for us. Like
who won the Olympics? I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, Olympics.
United States. And then China, then Japan, then Great Britain, and then ROC.
You know the funny thing about the ROC? The Russian Olympic Committee. They were not allowed to use the Russian national anthem.
They weren't?
And for those who wanted to see the medal count.
Oh, you guys came in 6. You beat France. Ooh, I'm going to rub that in my husband's face. He goes, he watches French soccer, so French football, and he'll go ham on it, and I'm over here like, I is bored. I like to play soccer. I don't like to watch it very much. I'm just not that into it, but he is.
Check this out, though. Multi-medalist.
Aussies and US. They got one China person.
But out of those multi-medalists, Emma McKeon ended up with 4 gold medals in one.
How am I confusing? Well, no, I'm not going to ask you to actually explain that.
So she ended up with 7 medals, and they're the medals right there.
Wog ball is
Oh,
soccer?
for swimming. Walk ball is soccer? Oh, I like that.
wog
Walk
ball.
ball.
Yeah, down here in Australia, we call Greeks wogs. Don't ask me how we
I
ended
think
up
we
calling
have a
them
similar
wogs, but
cup.
hey,
I said I think we have a similar cup. Similar-ish. Yeah.
Mm.
I've been seeing you use these cups and with the straw and stuff, and so I was like, I need to get one of those, and so we finally did.
what we need to do is get the get the sauce boss to pour sauce over the top, so it comes down through from that side or that side, and it just hits me in the head. Now, Bill has called something a durry. Do you understand what a durry is?
Oh, but that specific instance was.
I don't
Do you
know what a
understand
durry
what
is.
a durry is?
No.
A durry?
A durry is a cigarette. Here in Australia, we go for a durry, a smoke break, a smoko. There's all sorts of names for cigarettes. But if you've been in the Defence Force, it's always going for a durry, which is fun. So if ever you hear a guy turn around and go, "Oh, I'm going off for a durry," and you hear the Aussie accent, you understand.
I'm going to do that to my husband, be like, I'm going to go out for a durry.
I've done a little bit more British.
What the hell?
I'd be like, I know things, Matthew. I know things that you don't know.
Gotta teach her how to
just
do
turn
that.
around and tell him you can fly upside down.
I was inverted.
Oh, I see what he was saying. Cricket the sport. Yeah, I don't know how to play that game either.
Oh, mother bitch. See what happens when I leave and I'm just like, I see cricket and I didn't know what was going on because I couldn't really hear
didn't
what's going
either.
on. So I was just like,
didn't-
you were talking about me.
No, I didn't know.
How am
either.
I confusing?
I saw the
But I am
comment
a very
pop up.
confusing person.
Yeah, no. Cricket is cricket. You've got a little cricket, which is a little insect, and squeaks a lot. Trust me, I've heard enough. And then you've got the British, Indian, Sri Lankan, Australian, New Zealanders playing cricket, which is a slow sport, but also a good sport as well.
Like,
A 40-pack of
Americans have
cigarettes.
baseball similar to that.
No.
You wouldn't compare it to baseball?
Cricket,
Not the same,
bounce
but
the ball. Yeah. For cricket, you've got a 11 foot pitch. You've got 2 runners, and you run between between what we call wickets. To start the game, you bowl the ball overarm, and it has to bounce at minimum once before it hits gets to the batter. So, it's another game to look up and go.
it's
How
like
do you play it?
like batter, runners type of comparison.
Fielders as well. If you hit the ball,
Y'all don't come for me. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know cricket. That y'all talking about me.
if you hit the ball from the wicket area and it goes over the boundary, it's classified as a 6. If you hit the ball and it goes over the boundary and bounces before it gets to the boundary, it's classified as a 4. And now how to confuse a cricket.
I'm not the only one. Jenny doesn't.
I have no idea. I don't even know
Pistol
what it's
dueling
used
used to be an Olympic sport. They lost too many people. So we've got some weird sports down here. We've got some weird locations. We've got some weird town names. So, but yeah, I've been going through a whole heap of my stuff, and I've got to have it for next week. I'm going to be trying to find it. It's my cigar ashtray that I ended up getting while I was in the Navy. And I was making them. There's 15 of them from my ship out in the fleet from all over. Not only my ship, but also other ships got given them as well. They were a keepsake for the captains. And because I was the one that I was the one that was making them, I ended up having a spare because I had to do the promotion as well as also the first one to make sure it would actually work. So I had lots of fun. But I've got to go somewhere. And considering it's top of the hour, I think it was about time that we end up putting the screen up.
Screen. I had a couple things that I won't. Yeah. So earlier, Jenny had asked if we. Oh, it didn't turn out that clear. So Ducky, I don't know if you could see. Like, I'm actually standing on the RV step and almost as tall as everybody.
You are a little bit shorter than everyone else.
They got this one as well.
Cool.
Kyle about wanted to kidnap Tugo.
Oh, and look at that happy doggo face.
Oh, he loved it. Loved it. Wasn't the most enthusiastic going because he was just kind of like, hey, what are we doing? But on the way back, he was just like, all right, we're cruising. Stupid geese. I can hear over my headphones. I could hear geese.
I used to play clarinet in my backyard when I was first learning to play, like back in middle school. And every time the geese would fly over, they would land in the yard when I was playing and chase me. And my mom thought it was hilarious.
I am 5'0". We were talking about this earlier. I'm 5'0", which is 60 inches. And I'm not going to convert. You can just... You do the math. I am short. Because the guys, all three of the guys, Kyle and Mike are 5'10", and boys 5'10", 5'11", which was funny because Kyle's just like, hey, you can stand on the step, and like we'll be kind of evened out on the height. My dumbass jumped on this step and I about broke it off. So it's just like, okay, yeah, that'd be freaking perfect. Like, we're just my RV step is broken. Why? Because Cricket jumped on it. The smallest person ever.
No, smallest person would be my better half's grandmother. She stood at a height of 4 foot.
I was short. That is short.
I'm never gonna claim myself short ever again.
You know the worst thing? She may have only been 4 foot, but she could throw a mean right hook.
I was just gonna say she was probably really spicy
I
because
saw
it
a friend,
seems like the shorter we are, the more spicy.
yeah, a friend of mine who still lives over in Perth. She was my second mother, pretty much. She ended up being, she's absolute lovely woman, Deb. She unfortunately had a fire extinguisher land on her ankle and end up breaking it, and she ended up being permanently disabled from it. But I saw her. Yeah, I saw her with her crutches because she's got a walking crutch now. I saw her break her own son's ribs because the boys were fighting. The boys were fighting, and she decided to break them up by whacking the younger of the two with her cane. And she not only bent the walking frame, but she then turned around and broke the next 3 that she was given.
Spicy.
Yeah, my mom is 5 foot. She's 5'2" or 5'3". I don't mess with her. Nope.
Yeah.
Oh no, because she may be short, but she's got enough reach to grab a broom and just like nope.
Yeah.
I don't mess with
And
her
you
lady.
think how quick she can actually move that broom from here to here.
Yeah, it's enough. Yep.
Speed.
It's enough that I'm just like, I'm just not gonna mess with mom.
Try to say it's like I'm like catching a flying squirrel. Have you ever or a squirrel and somebody's like trying to grab it?
No,
Here, I'm there. You'll
we don't have squirrels. We've just got drop bears.
The koalas go.
Chipmunks?
Floop.
Actually, I should be able to find that footage for you.
rude, but funny.
It's kind of accurate though.
It is. I swear I'm not an angry person, but I've noticed that like some of my reactions are pretty angry. And it's like I didn't think I was angry, but apparently I am.
Where is it?
It sucks that those pictures didn't show up a little bit better. Did you see my tripod there, Ducky?
Pardon?
My tripod paw. Tuco?
No, I didn't.
He's with Kyle. So he just had his full leg amputated in February.
Mm.
And it's like never been better. Oh, scheisse. He still pulls. That's the thing too. Is like he still pulls pretty much just as hard, if not like
Harder. Mm.
yeah, right. It's like so when we were down there and stuff like that, boy, like I handed boy the lead and Chico would start pulling on him, and he's like, "What the fuck?"
Where is it?
Yes, I mean he gets around great. Yeah, and he even like running because he runs the back fence because we have a public path back there. He runs the fence and runs up and down, and he's just fine. Like he can jump in and out of the truck no problem. But his balance is ish sometimes. But he hasn't attempted to take my life lately. I think the middle child has made me jump out of my skin. Are you able to bring up the video?
I think I am. I'm trying to find it, unfortunately.
So as we near the end of the show, I did want to bring up the fact that, like, yes, I do have the thin blue line flag out.
Yes.
Because we unfortunately lost a Chicago police officer this past weekend.
Didn't she leave, unfortunately, a very young child as well?
So originally there was reports of her having a 2-month-old. She just recently returned from maternity leave, which is heartbreaking in itself. However, she was not a mother.
Right.
She wasn't married. She left behind a mother and her brother. Her partner was shot, who is actually fighting for his life right now. Was the last time I looked, he was still listed as critical. He has young kids.
Right.
But there was also something about her being just back from maternity leave, which this is really what irks me, is this whole mix-up started
Yeah.
because somebody tried to take advantage of her death to get money out of it, saying help my infant or help the infant daughter of a fallen officer.
Yeah.
So no, she was not a mother, and it's tragic either way. Her partner is still currently fighting for his life, and sad all around because it's almost weekly that we keep hearing our police officers are being ambushed and attacked and killed.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is where, even though we're here in Australia, we end up hearing a lot of the international news. We're lucky that we've got a good source of people that aren't going to be radicalized and things like that, but there's still the radicals. And yes, it was on the news about her death. And every media outlet, everyone has different opinions, and opinions are like arseholes. Everyone's got one.
Everyone has one.
And misinformation is the biggest irk of mine, because there's so many people that will turn around and say, and try to profit from tragedy. Unless you actually know the full story, you can't get a lot of the full stories, unfortunately. And if you don't get the full story from a reputable source, people are just going to run with it. And that's the biggest issue. That we'll have a look at the misinformation on the COVID vaccines and all of that as well at the moment. Yeah, CNN got scammed. And that's the biggest issue, is we nowadays have to figure out what is truth, what is false. Why should it be that way? It should be a media vets everything before they send it out. And social media nowadays is one of the worst contributing factors of misinformation. It can be someone turning around saying one thing, and then all of a sudden someone else says something different, and you're like, okay, so who's the right, who's the wrong? My daughter at the moment is caught up in one, and it's all in regards to a girl that is lying about what she's doing and what's happening to her. And so, yeah, we're very carefully watching that situation. But we are very wary of this girl as well. So, and that's the worst thing about it. She's my 13-year-old is hearing all of these things going, we don't trust her. So you never know what's going on in kids' lives, unfortunately. So
It's horrible. Like, it's hitting.
But yes, very, very sorry to hear about the passing away, and hopefully her partner can recover. Even though if he does recover, it's going to be a long journey, but at least that journey was going to be a good journey back. So, and that's the thing, is you can always get back. You can't lose, or if you've lost someone, it's very hard, but you can get back from it. My own mental health issues and everything else, I've gone up and down and everything else, and I got onto the other side of it. And now I'm trying to help other people that are going through the same style situation. So,
And that kind of leads us into final thoughts there, Ducky.
yep. And then final thoughts. Doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter what you're doing. If you are having an issue, try to reach out for someone. Doesn't matter if it's a friend, doesn't matter if it's a work colleague. Get the help. If you don't get the help, you don't know where that rabbit hole will lead you. And some days you just can't get back from that rabbit hole. So,
Thank you again so much for being a part of the show. It's like I said, we should just rename it Army Air Force Aussie or the Animal
Yeah,
Kingdom.
but then also you end up having the problem that I could possibly not be in. So,
Right. But you're always welcome back. Thank you so much
Yep.
for jumping in with us. Miss Cuddling
Yeah.
Kittens, if you will, with your final thoughts, lady.
It's important to take time for yourself. You cannot pour from an empty cup. Trust me, I have tried it and it went disastrously wrong. So I don't care if it's something as simple as sitting on the back porch with a cup of coffee listening to the crickets chirp. Take that time for yourself to regroup.
It's not always about me, Jade,
yes, it is.
but I can make connections to it. Thank you so much, Miss Kittens. Like I said again, Ducky, you are always welcome to jump in when you are available. And we can continue the Ask an Aussie. Like even on the weeks that you're not available, we can still send you questions if we get some.
Yep. No, definitely. If you guys want to put questions and if you have questions, put them in the comments. I'll get them. And even if it is drinks, foods, things like that, I'll try to get some so you guys can see them and actually see me eat them. I'll eat everything. I am a koala. I eat roots and leaves.
Can't see her chirp. Yeah. I will annoy the fuck out of you when I actually come at you. Much like a cricket does, which I can fucking hear outside my window right now. But yes, of course, every week we say this, reach out. If you are struggling, spiraling out, we are here for you. If you don't get a hold of one of us, try another one of us. And even if the one person that responds to you isn't your cup of tea, we will attempt to help, or we will help you find who will help you. Again, you can see us here every week on Wednesday. Ducky's Thursday. Here on the Crossroads. Love you. Stay safe. Deuces.